Alright, while we're around the campfire, you know the bee story?
Oh yeah.
I've got my own story from a couple of nights ago, right?
Okay.
So basically, I had this really, really weird dream. I think I want to call it a nightmare because, like, it woke me up. So I guess, but it was weird. So basically, the details of the beginning are a bit foggy for me. But at some point in the dream, I was at school, right, Eltham, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how this year during my gap year I did a little bit of work there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was there, just like going about. I went around the theatre and stuff, just seeing what was going on. It was the end of the school day, so like there were some rehearsals. People were leaving to go home, that kind of stuff. And I kept like bumping into people I knew from school, being like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here?" And I had to be like, "Oh, well, I work here." But the thing is, the people who were asking me, "What are you doing here?" were like you know, people from our year, right? So like,
Yeah.
if in this dream they were there as well.
You meant the guy you, not
Yeah.
like you. Yeah.
No, yeah, you Lee. So like, what that meant is that the people, them being there, asking me why I'm there, either in the dream it had to be back when we were still at school, or they had to also be there for no good reason. So that didn't make sense. But basically, I was just like going around, and I was supposed to be meeting Connor Reynolds, right? At our
Yeah.
form room, which for some reason was upstairs in the science block. And I knew I had to be there at the end of school, but I was just like putting it off for no good reason. I was just like, oh, I'll do this instead for a second, I'll do this. And then
Yeah.
eventually I went there, and then when I got there, it's a bit of a blur. Like I turned up, I got to the door, he was there, and then it sort of just cuts out and jumps forward to, I enter this room, presumably also upstairs in the science block. There's like a dorm room, but it's like a luxury suite dorm room, and it belongs
Yeah.
to, this isn't a person from our school at all, just a fictional guy who's like the most popular person or whatever, and it's his dorm room, and he's got this massive party, right, and he's sitting like at this table with his mates and some girls and
same
whatever.
guy?
There's like people sitting around on the floor like drinking and having a chat or whatever, and I sort of walk through, and it's really like, it's a party I guess, and like he's the popular guy, so this is the place to be, but the ambience is really creepy. Like it's very dark, not in like a dim lit way, just dark, and
Yeah.
and it's cold, and there wasn't any music or anything, it was just creepy. And I go through to the back and just sleep for some reason. I sleep on the floor under a duvet in this back room that's presumably the bedroom, but there is no bed. And while I was sleeping there, I heard this noise outside where the party is, and for some reason my brain was like, it's an intruder, which makes no sense, but yeah. And then I thought okay, better check for an escape route. So I went to the window and I thought, now we're on like the 5th floor, if I jump from here I'll die, right? But I looked out, and it just so happened there was a wall that was perfect for me to hop onto, run away, and then hop down, right? And as I saw that, I heard the door behind me open, and this killer from Dead by Daylight, right, walked in. It was Legion. He walked in, obviously having killed everyone else at the party. I was at the window, but for some reason my thought process was, well, this escape route is no good anymore because he's seen me, so I decided to turn around, run, and jump at him, and as I jumped at him, he screamed and shanked me, and I woke up.
What the fuck?
By far the scariest dream I've ever had.
What the fuck? That's fucking weird.
But like none of it makes sense. Not even the part where it
No.
just was just school, like just me meeting Connor. That was the mildest part, and it didn't make sense. And then it turned into whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, oh, that's really fucking weird. Dreams are fucking weird.
Dreams are
spooky.
so weird.